New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis 2025 didn't suck, but it also didn't matter. That's the truth. A couple of title changes, a handful of solid matches, a few new challengers stepping up, but almost nothing on this card felt important. Nothing felt like it was pushing the company forward. When the best match of the night is great because it was simply allowed to breathe, that pretty much says a lot. This show had the ingredients: star power, championship stakes, rising talent, and a big stage feel. But what we got was a collection of matches that looked better on paper than they felt in reality. Now, it wasn't a train wreck, but it wasn't a home run. It was just there. And in today's landscape, just there doesn't cut it. So I'm not here to run down every single match. I'm going to walk through the ones that mattered, the moments that worked, and the ones that didn't, and why this show felt like New Japan is just going in circles at this point in time. Well, now let's start with the main event. Hiroki Goto taking on David Finlay. Now, this was easily the best match of the night. They gave it time, the pacing was patient, the emotion was real, and Goto brought the intensity, and Finlay showed the kind of fire that's been missing from him in recent months. That Death Valley driver through the table on the outside, fire. Goto's kid sitting front row added just enough heart without feeling forced. And when Shota Umino stepped up post-match to challenge for the title, it actually made sense, especially with Umino's win over Tanahashi earlier, which I thought was a good match, surprisingly. This was how a main event should feel. I give this one 4.25 stars. Konosuke Takeshita versus Ryo Oiwa was another strong outing in my opinion. This was physical from the jump. Oiwa didn't just survive, but he pretty much belonged in this match. That one count kick out in the middle of the match, that was something. And Takeshita's reaction said it all after that. This had urgency, this had intensity, and if they had even a few more minutes, this could have been great. Instead, it was just really, really good. I gave this one 3.5 stars. SANADA versus Yuya Uemura was a credibility win for Yuya. Not a breakout moment, not a star-making moment, but a step in the right direction. Now, the match itself, I thought was too short, a little flat, and the crowd brawl didn't really add much to it. SANADA did hit a couple of slick moves, there was a ref bump, and then Yuya hit the Poison Rana and locked in the armbar for the win. A solid result that didn't feel like it mattered as much. I gave this one 2 stars. Now let's talk about the TV title match. El Phantasmo versus Great-O-Khan. I wasn't a big fan of the countout finish, but I'll give credit where credit is due. It did make sense. The story was built around ELP's injured shoulder, and O-Khan zeroed in on it from the very start. He slammed it onto the guardrails, and he stayed focused on it, and even when ELP had to get it popped back in mid-match, it all kept building. So when O-Khan spiked him onto those standing stairs and won via countout, it didn't feel like a cop-out. It was the story playing out. I gave this one 2.75 stars. The IWGP Tag Team title match had one of the biggest surprises of the night, with Colin Newham and Jeff Cobb winning the belts. Now, the first half of this match did drag, but they did pick it up later on. That fireplow nearfall on Naito I thought was nasty, and the actual finish did felt like it was earned. Then Jeff Cobb walked over to the English announce table post-match, looked right into the camera, and said, "I thought I was leaving. What happened, Internet?" Now that was gold in my opinion. But overall, the match still didn't feel like a classic title win. This gets 2.75 stars. Now for the global title match, Yota Tsuji versus Evil. This was just exhausting. Typical House of Torture garbage, run-ins, weapons, overbooking, Sushi's twin brother showing up as a decoy during the entrance. I thought was a clever idea, but it got buried under just too much nonsense. Shingo interfered multiple times, the match dragged, and even the story of Sushi's knee injury, which could have been a real hook, never really went anywhere. Just noise. I gave this one 1.75 star. And just when you thought the House of Torture couldn't get more annoying, we got the 6-man tag, War Dogs versus House of Torture. Everyone brawled, and it looked like Drilla had the match won, and then SANADA showed up, hits him with a guitar, rips open the shirt. He's House of Torture now, and I just didn't care. SANADA's been in so many factions that this just didn't register. It wasn't shocking. It wasn't clever. It just happened. 1 star. So let's take a step back. What worked? Goto versus Finlay. Strong, emotional, complete match. Takeshita versus Oiwa. Physical and promising. And guys like Yuya, Umino, and Oiwa, they're showing signs of growth. Now, they're not there yet, but they're on their way. What didn't work? The time management across the show. Too many matches were shortchanged. House of Torture continues to drag things down. SANADA's turn had zero emotional weight on it. Even the good moments didn't feel like they was built into anything bigger. This was a show that moved, but had no momentum. It looked like progress was on paper, but it played out like it was treading water. And when your best takeaway is, well, that match got time to breathe, that pretty much tells you a lot. I'm giving New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis 2025 a 6.75 out of 10. Did it hit different for you? Let me know what stood out. Do you feel like New Japan Pro Wrestling is setting something up or just spinning its wheels? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you did like this review, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this video out with your friends. And for that, I'll see you guys later.